Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Ash, and today I'm joined by Ginna, and we're going to be doing a quick review for the Halo TV series, Episode 2. So, this followed straight on pretty much from what happened in the first episode, but it did start with a sort of flashback. I think it was like a 22-year flashback or something, like it was
Yeah.
a 20-year flashback. And you get to see a little Master Chief and his little friend.
Little Soren.
That's it. That's his name. And he was trying to run away, and then Master Chief proper dicks him over. Now,
He gives
what
him a
I'll
few minutes.
say, spoilers, because I realised last week we didn't say spoilers at the beginning, and then we pretty much discussed the entire episode. So, spoilers. If you haven't watched the episode and you want to watch it without being totally ruined, watch the episode before watching this review, or if you're not that bothered, just keep watching everyone. So, but yeah, so it started straight off with the flashback, and I quite like that. Like I said, I don't know a lot of the canon. I mentioned this in the last video of the backstory of Halo, etc., and Master Chief. So I don't know how this fits into like actual game canon, if this ever really happened, or they were just winging it and just sort of doing like teenage angst sort of brotherhood sort of backstory. But I thought it was quite good, and it was a good opening to the series.
It was kind of the latter, although there is instances like it that occur in some of the books and stuff. But like that, it's Soren's like completely made up and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
basic.
they were like, yeah, we need a good story about a Spartan who went rogue, so let's do one.
Yeah, and he's
And
got
it's
that
good.
creepy hand, doesn't he? He's got like a weird
Yeah,
sort of mutant hand thing that he blames the UNSC for.
yeah,
So I was like intrigued straight away. I was like, well, at least you know which one he is then in a crowd. So
yeah. And I like in all the pre-release footage, they never showed his hand.
yes.
I think it hid that quite well.
Yeah, like I say, honestly, when I watched it, I was like, "Who the hell is that guy? Like, when did that happen?" Because honestly, yeah, I don't remember seeing it in any of the sort of pre sort of episode material. But the guy who plays him as an adult, I think he's called Bokeem Woodbine, if I've got his name right. I thought he was probably the best actor in the episode, to be fair.
Yeah, he was
Um,
really good.
and he's been in all sorts of films and stuff like that. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but he's been in quite a lot of. I think he was in The Rock, if I remember correctly. Oh, he was in Ghostbusters, wasn't he? He's the sheriff in the new Ghostbusters film.
Not seen the new one, so I'll take your
Oh,
word.
so yeah, he's not in it long, but he's one of the character's girlfriend's dads, basically. Um,
A main part.
yeah, and apparently, according to filmography, he was in Spider-Man: Homecoming. He was one of the shocker characters.
He was.
He was like
Yeah,
a
he was like,
henchman guy, wasn't he?
yeah. He ended up getting those fist things and even punching people and all that stupid stuff they made.
Yeah. Um, so that's how the episode started, and yeah, it was a good sort of. This is a very TV show episode, I must admit. Like I say, the
Yeah.
first episode was like shooting, lots of political dilemmas in the middle, then shooting, action. This one, if you were
No,
looking for looking for gun battles and stuff, you're gonna be very disappointed in this episode. But I thought it worked really well from like a TV show. I was actually interested. You could follow on with a lot of the plots.
yeah.
Um,
I think as a sci-fi TV program, the first two episodes have done well. If you're looking for a Halo TV program that follows the Halo story you know and portrays the characters in the way you know, then this series isn't going to be for you. You've got to be able to let go because like there's a bit on here where Master Chief moves a forklift truck out the way and then slams someone against the wall and says something to him. The one in the games is never going to do that. We haven't got the guy who's in the games. If anything, the one of the other Spartans, the one who's like, we're family, we stick together, the really massive one from Silver Team, he's acting more like Master Chief than anyone else in the show. So if you're watching
yeah,
this expecting I'm just going to follow what everything that happens in the games and the same timeline, this yeah, you're going to be
Yeah.
confused because none of that happens. It's all completely different, but I'm enjoying it,
Yeah, do
especially
you
the
know what?
bits
Go on,
on
say what
High
you're saying.
Charity. Yeah, the bits on High Charity and the Covenant and those bits are really good, and the CGI is fantastic on
Yeah.
them.
I thought it was even better in the characters, there's some of that in this episode, and I
Yeah,
thought yeah, like I say, it looked really good, and it sort of progresses that story a bit as well, which was good. Um, but and I've seen a lot of people hating online that he literally doesn't wear his mask or his helmet in this episode, bar for
yeah,
like 5 seconds. I didn't care. I thought it was funny, and then the fact that they make him take off his entire outfit, like his entire armor. I
yeah,
swear they've done that just to piss people off because like everyone's losing the shit. He took his helmet off, and then in episode 2 they're like, "You can't come into the house if you've got your dirty armor on. Take your armor off at the door, mate." That was the best
yeah. It's
bit.
quite funny. It's like walk around like you look like you're in Mass Effect for the episode, please, and then right at the end, stick your helmet and your suit back on and look really cool, and then walk off screen.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So yeah, as the show progresses, you see Halsey talking with some bloke in a uniform, who obviously is of some importance, some old man, um, and he basically sort of tells her to sort of do what she wants and sort of to
yeah,
get her own way. Um, you see a lot of the Spartans then as well, sort of discussing that. It sort of expands a bit on them and their sort of relationship with Chief, which I thought was really good.
yeah,
Um, I like I say, for someone who has no idea about them, it's nice that they're sort of giving us this because they could have totally left all those scenes out. But it shows them obviously they think Chief obviously has a plan basically.
yeah.
Um, and then you get to the main sort of bulk of the episode, which is Master Chief flying his little friend and the relic to this asteroid sort of belt, basically in this asteroid field, and he ends up on, I think it's called Rubble, the place,
I can't
which
remember
is,
the name of the
I'm
place.
sure it's called Rubble, and it's basically like lots of asteroids joined together with like train carts, from what I imagined it as.
Yeah,
So
just fire. They just shoot you out into space, and then they fire a wire for you to get connected to. It was a really bizarre way of doing a transport system. Why wouldn't you just keep the wires there? But
yeah, it
it wouldn't look as cool.
was very odd. But then his little friend, that Soren, that's where he meets up. So basically, it was like, oh, I can't trust anyone, so I need to find someone I can trust. But miraculously, he thinks I'll trust the guy who I basically,
The guy who deserted.
yeah, the deserter who I gave what 60 seconds or something. He gave him or something silly. He didn't give him long to escape, basically.
Give him like yeah, a couple of minutes on it. Like you can have like 3 minutes or something very specific like that.
Yeah, they make a big point of that, and this bloke's like, I got rid of my chip. As I assume they give Spartans chips in their heads to sort of inebriate the sort of
Yeah,
feelings. That's what it comes across as a dunce. And he's like, well, I got rid of my chip, and now I've had kids, and I've got a wife, and I live in an asteroid in this weird house, and they all like to get high by the looks of it. Like that's how it came across to me.
yeah. Every episode, people are just. I think the future, whenever they depict them in sci-fi, is people just getting high off all the things they find across the universe. So the first planet, it was all those people. Our first episode, all those people getting high and then getting blown to bits. Second
Yeah.
episode, I'm a responsible family man, but I still get high. And then this seems to be, yeah, you travel into space, we find some cool stuff, and we just get high off it. So that's the future.
Yeah, and I just think it comes across proper like a TV show in that aspect. They're just like,
Yeah,
yeah, let's do it, do it, do it. Let's make them all
see
high.
what we can get away with.
Uh,
One thing I'm not liking is the whole aspect of well, we've wiped your memory. These chips control you. They're trying to make them like robots. It's going more RoboCop rather than the Spartans are doing it because they want to save humanity, which is the whole point.
yeah,
The
I
whole point in
thought
the
that.
game now is the Spartans are the best of the best. They're trained from a young age, and they want to save humanity. They've been trained to save humanity. Now it's oh no, you're a slave, and eventually, when you find out how bad humanity is, you don't care about them, and it's like that's the complete opposite of what they're supposed to be. But other than that, I don't mind some of the things they've changed because it works
No.
well for a TV show.
Yeah, I did think that. I was like, I don't remember Master Chief ever being like this uncaring, has no feeling, doesn't have any consequence in his body. like they
Yeah.
were, he was in the TV show. But I do like he's like in a struggle, and I think that's probably the thing that's drawing me to the show the most. Is like you can see him like trying to be like, is this? Am I doing the right thing? Is everything
You
a
never know.
lie?
They might use this as a way to tell a story for the first series, and then the end of the first series will probably be Reach getting glassed, I imagine, or Harvest happening
Yeah,
first, and then Reach, and then the beginning of that game then might be where or the second series even might be where he becomes more like the games, where he's just himself and he's doing it now to save humanity and what have you, and it might be more like the
yeah.
character we know, because at the moment he's nothing like him, is he? But
No.
the rest of the settings and everything is it's good TV. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then, like I say, it moves on from that. He basically meets this guy's family, and he's like, it's a bit of banter back and forth. He's like got
Yeah,
no humor in him at all because he's Master Chief, and these mates. He's not his mate really, but his friends or whoever he is. His the guy gave 3 minutes to the dot. So
yeah,
it's
that's the one.
like, yeah, mate, you need to sort your shit out. But I'll help you. I'll still help you, but you're a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah,
And then it jumps to the Covenant side of it in High Charity, where they're discussing obviously how Master Chief sort of activated this
yeah. It's
relic.
Forerunner.
But
Yeah,
they did explain later on, because obviously we discussed this last week and we were like, any human can activate it, but it turns out that's
yeah.
not the case because so basically they send that woman off. She's like, I'll deal with it. Is she called Makee or something like that, or Makee, or
I don't remember her name, but I'm yeah. She's all right. She's pretty cool so far. She's a good
yeah?
actress.
She's
She's been
like,
on a lot of
I'm
stuff.
gonna go deal with this because I can blend in, and she sort of like gets her clothes like onto a sort of standard stuff, a standard clothes, and she's like, right, I'm
Yeah,
off. And so I feel like she's gonna meet up. They're all gonna come into contact with each other in the next couple of episodes as well, which I
you
think
got
is
to.
pretty awesome.
Yeah. So
Um,
they call, I can't remember the names. They have a certain name for them that only these people who can activate these relics. So they've changed it so that in the games, yeah, all humans were given like an imprint in their DNA so they can use the technology. But in the TV show, it's no, only certain people have it that they can activate it, as opposed to just all humans. So
yeah, I'm trying to remember what the word was now. Blessed ones. That's
blessed
what they
ones,
said. You've got
yeah,
to be a blessed one. So they find this out because Soren takes Master Chief to like this psychiatric jail thing. Like he
yeah,
says he's there to help people, but it looked like a jail to me. But
yeah,
and there's this crazy bloke who's supposedly, it looks like one of those guys you see on those paranormal TV shows where he's like, and then the alien took me into my ship and he probed me and
yeah.
then they put me back down and I married a kettle. He was one of those sort of guys. He's a bit mad, but it progressed the story. He touched the relic and it didn't do anything, and then he did something, I can't remember what it was, and then Master Chief grabs it and obviously it sets it off.
He
Um,
like he caught it, and I think the guy went to hit him with a
that was it, yeah, and he stopped it, and it sort of like it activated again.
EMP
Master
pulse
Chief
again, and yeah,
imagined drawing a dog or something like that, and and he was like, "Ray, I know what I've got to do now," and
yeah.
he leaves. But and then I quite like that. I like that. Obviously, other people have come into contact with them and stuff. I thought it was a bit weird because he just seems like a crazy guy, but it did sort of
So
push
the
the
crazy
plot
guy,
along.
they were saying he'd been abducted, or he was taken on board and tortured by the Covenant, and he'd seen some of these ones who can activate the relics, and he must be just getting people and trying to get them to activate it. But so far, they've only found that blonde woman, and now they found Master Chief who can do it as well.
Because they're
But
blessed
they're blessed.
with the high
Yeah.
powers. And then Master Chief's like, right, I'm off, and he leaves his little friend Kwan with Soren because that's like a
Yeah.
rate, like, oh, bye, like you've just saved her life, and now you're gonna leave her with someone who doesn't particularly like her in a place she isn't really safe as some sort of unwanted lodger.
We got to see some more political goings on Madrigal as well,
Yeah,
which whenever I hear that just reminds me of Encanto.
it does. Yeah,
Um,
and there wasn't any dancing houses either, and singing and dancing families, which is a shame. It's just the guy from Torchwood.
The guy who's always a villain, apart from what's it called, Pacific Rim, where he was a crazy doctor with Charlie Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie Day, sorry. So yeah,
Yeah.
other than that, he's just a villain.
I,
So he's in this being a villain because he hasn't got Charlie alongside him.
yeah. So he's basically took leadership. I've worked out like he's the leader of the opposition to
He
Kwan's
wants the
dad's.
UNSC to take over
Yeah.
and sell all the stuff and get rich and be part of the UNSC again, whereas Kwan's dad was a
Resistance
innie
sort of.
indie, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
he wanted to be independent and break away.
And he's proper like murdering people and stuff. He just don't care. I like him. He is a good actor. I liked him in that program with Mr. Fantastic, where he was a mortician who was like immortal. I don't know if you've ever watched that. I can't remember what it was called. And all through the season, someone keeps trying killing him and stuff. And it turns out they're both immortal and they've both been friends for years and then nemesis and stuff. And he was the bad guy right at the end, and it reveals it in like the last episode. And then they never made a second season. So I can't remember what the TV show was called, but really good. But I liked him in that, and obviously Torchwood, and he was in Batman for like half a film till Bane just battered him. So
Yeah,
hey, fair play to him. I can't remember his
he's a good
name though for
actor.
the life of me. No,
Yeah,
what?
evil British guy, but
That's
not a
it.
handsome one. That'll narrow it down. So he's not the good-looking evil British guy.
That's
Have you
it.
ever
Yeah.
seen a recent movie or TV show and there's an evil British guy, but he's not very good looking? That's your guy.
Oh, and there was more political drama as well, though, in the
Of course.
USNC or the UNCS. I can never remember how to pronounce it. That's this.
UNSC.
I was right then. I was right. Where they were basically deciding what to do and how to proceed, and then was it Halsey is like, "Let's do Cortana," and that other woman's like, "You what?" I thought that
Yeah,
was funny, but you knew it was coming.
yeah,
So she got away. She's got but Cortana's like a clone in this, like a human clone at the moment. She's just like a little
yeah.
bald Halsey in a little pod as it
She
stands.
she kind of is in the books. It doesn't really explain that well, other than she's like a flash. They clone part of Halsey's brain to then make an AI from, which was illegal. So I guess the easiest way to explain it on TV would be to make a clone, and
Well,
then I'm
yeah,
guessing just a murderer and take her brain off her to get make it. I don't know.
yeah. They've got to make it simple for us idiots though that don't
Yeah, you
like.
got to because
I
AIs are not something we're familiar with in our houses these days. You know.
No, no, exactly. It's crazy. So they've got to do it sort of like everything has to have like a realistic sort of explanation to it. Literally everything.
Yeah,
So that's the one thing. If you're a fan of the games, you'll not like that, but it is what it is, unfortunately. And then the sort of episode, I thought the end was a bit naff. He basically goes back to Reach and surrenders and then has like a cuddle, and that's about
yeah.
it really. With Halsey, Halsey comes in and she's like, she takes the relic off him and she's like, "Mwahaha, I've got the relic." Because I don't know what her game is like. I don't think she's evil, but she seems evil, like she's conniving and she's up to something.
She's
Um,
so in all the lore, she seems actually be she seems out of all of them to be sticking most to character. She thinks she's the best and knows how to win. So she's always getting stuff that she shouldn't and getting like creating Spartans and doing mad stuff that nobody else will do. And then when it comes to the rest of them seem to have ethics and morals. She doesn't care about that. She just wants results. And she's doing
nice.
that here. She's like, "Yeah, I'm going to steal that relic before anyone else gets their hands on it because I want to study it. I'm going to clone myself, even though it's illegal and immoral, because why not? It'll help. I'll go abduct some kids and wipe their memory because it'll help in the long run." Like, yeah,
Yeah.
she's exactly like she is in the game. She don't give a shit. She's all about results.
Well, she proper blows him off as well because he's like, I felt something, and she's like, he wants to talk about his memories, and she's like, "Nah,
Yeah.
mate, let's focus on the lab results." It's like, she's gonna put something in his tea or something, isn't she? Like, give him some special juice, something, and just like knock him out.
Well, the way she's saying it in the show is that Cortana is going to be put into the chip and into his suit and basically take control, almost like shut down his emotions and heighten his reflexes and
Yeah,
everything, which, yeah, is close to the law. So in the law, they heighten your reflexes and help you identify threats and make your suit move faster. And but they don't shut them down into these weird robot android like people, like they're building up that it's going to almost like they're building it up to be the villain. There's four
Yeah.
series for that to happen, surely.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna rush to the end of this season. I feel like the last couple of episodes, it's all gonna go mad, and then it's gonna
Yeah,
be like the second season of The Walking Dead, where it's really slow paced to begin with because they're having to build it back up again to the next big arc.
Christ,
But hopefully not.
please no.
But that was
I
it,
don't,
really. That was the episode, wasn't it? It wasn't a crazy sort of massive episode. It was very much a filler. It's such more of, not a filler, but it was more of like every conversation was there to build up something and
yeah,
explain everything. It was like this is the episode for everyone who's just started watching and doesn't have a clue what the hell they're watching,
yeah.
basically.
This is if you don't know Halo and you've never played a game, we need to fill you in on a lot of stuff. So these first two episodes have been here's a little bit of action, but we need to tell you why this is all happening and what's going on behind the scenes that's going to drive the rest of the series. Because if we just ran through the story like we would in the games or something, you wouldn't have a clue what's going on.
No, exactly,
So they
yeah.
need to do it because it's TV. So
But
can you
I
imagine they
honestly
can you imagine they try to make a movie and do it in an hour and a half?
no, no. You would have to literally just assume everyone understands everything,
Yeah,
which is the worst thing
exactly.
I hate about when they do films like this because they try and cram all the backstory in.
Yeah.
Which is what I've liked about the more modern Spider-Man films. They just sort of assume you understand Spider-Man now.
Yeah,
They've stopped doing the 45 minutes of Uncle Ben being shot. Spoilers.
yeah.
They just sort of go in and he's Spider-Man already, and I like
He's already
that.
dead. The new
That's
one,
it.
straight
Yeah,
into it.
they
Yeah.
don't give a shit. So I like that, and I think more films should just take that risk and assume you know it.
Yeah.
The worst one I started watching. I'm going to do a review of this when I finish it because I've got to go back and watch it. The new Resident Evil film. My
Yeah.
God, they've literally simplified everything and gave everyone like interconnected stories for no reason apart from to make it into one film, and it's terrible. Like they're all related to each other and friends and family, and they all work with each other. It's like that's not it at all. And it's like they're in this small mining town of Raccoon City. Well, it's not a mining town if it's a city. I mean, make your mind up. So but that review will come soon, and I will
Yeah.
destroy that film because it is awful. Whereas I feel like with Halo so far, I enjoyed the second episode more than the first. The first was really good for action. The second I thought was really good for sort of character building, um, getting me up to speed because I'm a dunce, like I say, when it comes to proper Halo lore and stuff. So for me, I quite enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward
That's
now.
that's all you're seeing is the criticism that you see online is how this isn't the Chief that you know and the Halo story that you know. So for someone like you were saying yourself who doesn't know a lot of the storylines or the backstory, it seems to be people who don't play all the games that are enjoying it more because they
Yeah,
can just embrace what they're seeing. Whereas it's the people who are really set on, I wanted a Halo CE converted to a TV show, who are kind of clinging on further. Whereas I'm a massive Halo fan. I'm surrounded by all Halo stuff, but I've just approached it as it's a different story, and I'm hoping eventually we'll get a proper Chief. They'll correct it next series, but the rest
yeah,
of it
yeah.
I'm enjoying.
And we're
Like,
getting tie-in stuffed in the game. They've said
yeah,
so.
Christ. That's
Literally,
yeah,
all the Master Chiefs are going to have the helmets off. That's it. That's all that's coming. There's taking his
be
helmet off.
Fortnite.
Yeah,
Like, so it's what is it? 10 episodes, isn't it? Is that the plan?
I
9
thought
or
it was.
10
I thought it
episodes.
was 8.
I thought it was like 100 million or 90 million they spent, 10 million episode, or 100 million, 10 million. It's something like that. So it's 9 or 10 episodes. We're two in already. What do you think is going to be the end of the series, like leading into the next one? I think we're going to see, like I said, it'll do the whole harvest or reach thing, getting glassed and that big invasion to finish, and you'll probably see the ring at the end. Chief and
Yeah,
that flee, and you'll see the ring, and bosh, series one done.
yeah,
Into series two.
yeah. I think the end will be the Halo ring reveal. I feel like they're
Yeah,
teasing it like it's like the Death Star plans at the moment. That's what it feels like. Like Princess Leia's going to be like putting it in a droid. Help me, Master Chief. You're my only hope. That's what it feels like. But yeah, I'm looking forward to. I don't know. Like I say, I'm not super up to date with it. So I'm just taking it as it goes. But I feel like it's in a good direction. It looks fantastic still. All the actors are in it are pretty decent, especially in the second episode. I thought the acting was at a slightly higher bar than the first episode. I
Yeah,
thought some of the people at the beginning in that colony were a bit naff. So
yeah. A Scottish guy, whoever he was, who was just a bit too. Let's go, the Spartans are here. Woo! It's like, okay, just take it down a peg. Like
knock off Billy Connolly.
that's the guy. Yeah,
That's it,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but
He's
yes.
he's gonna be yeah. It's been a good 2 episodes. I can't wait to watch the third because I know that's up now, ready to watch.
Yeah, so
Um,
we'll hopefully have the third review quicker than the second. It's been a bit of a
yeah,
low. Apologies on that, but
he says as he goes away for a week on holiday.
well, maybe we could, if we watch it tonight, we can maybe record it tomorrow. We'll shove it in, quick one.
I'll see what I can do. I'll try
Yeah.
watching in the morning.
But yeah, like I said, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm so far high up on it. I think it's a really good TV show, and intriguing, interesting, looks good. So I'm well down for it. Like I say, I don't care. I don't care. He takes his mask off. I don't give a shit. It doesn't bother me. They all
No,
take the
me.
masks off. Everyone's taking the masks off. He's got to eat. He's got to go for his shit sometime. He's a human. He's not a robot. So
Or is he?
I don't know.
Ooh.
When they start plugging him in and he start feeding him baby food like RoboCop, then you got to worry. So.
Yeah.
But I think that's that for this video, guys. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and like I say, we'll be doing more TV show reviews, especially for stuff like the Halo show and any other sort of tie-in sort of shows. Like I said, I'd love to do the Cuphead one eventually as well. So hit that like button, hit subscribe, and we'll see you soon for more content. And thank you very much for joining me today, Ginna.
No worries. Thanks for having me. I'll be all series.
Unless it gets really bad.
I'll still stick it out.
Yeah, look, we lost Redders after one video, so this
He's just too far behind. That's his
is
problem. Too busy
too
watching
behind with the
Moon
time. That's
watching
it.
Moon Knight or Night Moon, whichever way you pronounce it, which is very good as well, by the way.
And you can check that out on his channel as well. So episode 1 review up right now. But that's that, guys. See you later. Thank you very much.